There's several ways how you can overpower your enemies in Genshin Impact, and these are the top 5 artifact sets that allow you to do that. Carrying the burden of a main damage dealer is often an unfair one just because of how much the other teammates rely on your consistent damage. And even though Genshin Impact is a game of elements, a lot of the characters just work fine without relying on their skills and bursts and go back to the literal basics of normal attacks. And that's why it's probably no surprise MiHoYo have made Gladiator set accessible only from world bosses and the occasional chest from the Spiral Abyss. This is truly one of the most versatile and best artifact sets that you can get your hands on in the game, and if you ever want to test the limits of your character's normal attacks, there's nothing better than the 4-set bonus. And then there's characters like Razor and Xinyan who probably gain the most value out of everyone just because of how well physical damage bonus and normal attacks work together. It's clear that damage dealers who specialize in physical attacks will find this set invaluable. All in all, if you're ever wondering what you should give to any of the melee characters, especially if you want them to be your main damage dealer, most of the time, the answer will be Gladiator's set just because of how versatile and strong it is. And let's not forget that 2-set bonus you can apply to basically anyone who wants that extra 18% attack, which most of the time can power up nearly any talent that scales without special stats like defense or health. The only problem with this set in particular is that it takes a while to obtain good pieces of it, not to mention the randomization of substats, but on the flip side, at least you're getting other important resources like character ascension materials from the world bosses. There's no better feeling in the game than unleashing everyone's burst one after another, and usually we always have a character that goes first with their burst. For example, Bennett is someone you definitely want to be the leading character, which are oftentimes called enablers that start the battle or prepare a team combo attack. And what's awesome about it is that there's a very good artifact set that specifically rewards players who like to use enablers in their teams, and that is the Noblesse Oblige set. And it's already amazing that the 2-set bonus gives a sweet 20% increased burst damage, but the 4-set bonus is the real icing on the cake, which for 12 seconds after casting the burst will increase everyone's attack by 20%. Such a universal buff basically ups your team's damage, and all you need to do is be fast enough to land everything in order. And one good tip to do this for those who are playing on their PC would be to use the default binding in the options, where by holding down the Alt key together with the number assigned to the character, you can instantly cast the burst when you switch to them. And you can repeat this trick in succession, saving up a few clicks and maybe even a second or two. And let's not forget, if you have characters that you mostly use for their elemental bursts, especially if they have an energy cost between 40 and 60, you can expect this artifact set bonus to be up quite often, and you will have a strong buff for your team during most of your battle time. In fact, this is a set that greatly benefits from energy recharge, since the faster you can activate the burst, the sooner you can enjoy the set bonus. If there's one artifact set that's most heavily misunderstood, then Archaic Petra would be the one. And even if Geo isn't the most popular element among players, it sure knows how to make any damage dealer happy when it comes to this particular set. When you pick the crystal up, you're supposed to get the massive 35% damage bonus for 10 seconds. Except the problem here is that players assume anyone can pick up the crystal and get the associated element set bonus, but in reality, it needs to be someone that actually has the full Archaic Petra set equipped on them. So if Zhongli uses his Geo Blast on surrounding enemies and they produce various elemental crystals like Pyro, only when he picks up one of the crystals off the ground, everyone in the team will then receive 35% Pyro elemental damage bonus. This is why Archaic Petra is one of the most amazing artifact sets when it comes to using elemental damage dealers, especially if you have more than one of them that can benefit from a single crystal. And this is definitely not something a physical damage dealer wants, but if you're using a catalyst user, then their normal elemental damage attacks and skills gain the awesome damage bonus. Also, if you want to find out more about the other confusing aspects of the game, make sure to follow us on Twitter, link in the description. In short, you need to pick up the crystal with the set user in order to activate the bonus, and you're not giving teammates damage bonus who belong to the element of the crystal, but instead you boost the actual damage of the particular element. And just to give you some perspective, this bonus you get is nearly the same amount you would have on a level 16 5-star elemental damage goblet, so hopefully you can appreciate the awesome power of this set bonus. While one set bonus boosts your entire team's elemental damage, this next one is on the nastier side and lowers your enemy's resistance by quite a lot, with the only requirement being you need an animo character to utilize the insanely powerful Viridescent Venerer set. However, just like Archaic Petra, this is definitely a set that's designed to boost your elemental damage dealers, so you shouldn't expect anything amazing if you're running someone who deals or specializes in physical damage. And what's great about this set is that you will definitely get a lot of value out of it, especially with characters that can group enemies into one place like Sucrose, Venti, or the Traveler. And it's no secret that Anemo is a highly valued element in team building thanks to the swirl reaction. And unlike Geo, Anemo is designed around offense, and the name of the game in Genshin Impact is speed, at least as of making this video. So if you want to group your enemies into one place and then lower their resistance, then this is the top choice for increasing your damage output. You can't have those awesome melt and vaporize attacks if your elemental mastery is lacking. Thankfully, Instructor's set comes with a powerful boost that can be activated very easily without too much effort. And then there's characters like Sucrose and Albedo who are even more effective at utilizing this set, since their passive skills give even more elemental mastery, so triggering multiple bonuses that increase your team's elemental reaction efficiency can lead to crushing results. What's also great is that the Instructor's set is one of the few artifact sets you can get your hands on pretty early in the game, thanks to world bosses, and the fact that elemental mastery is one of the best stats when it comes to early elemental reaction damage. So if you ever wonder what your support character should be using, especially if you want to increase your elemental mastery significantly, there's no better choice than Instructor's set. Enjoy the video, make sure to enable the bell notification on and gently press the like button. Also, if you want to get the latest news and guides for Genshin Impact, make sure to follow us on Twitter, link in the description. Thank you for watching us.